Whenever you're ready, mate. Every game in this arena seems to be very physical. The crowd sort of on you. You guys were picking up full court, obviously. How do you feel like you guys handled that sort of pressure, in the building?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had a playoff vibe to it. Again, I think, not to discredit what South East did, they were really good and really aggressive, and they got the ball where they wanted to go on the block and attack the paint. I think we let ourselves down a lot. I think we made some real bad mental lapses at the wrong time of the game throughout. And I thought we played a little bit frustrated. You look at the stats, right, and the one that sort of mainly jumps out the most was we only had 5 assists at half-time, and that generally shows like a lack of ball movement from our part. So, it's the second game in a week now where the ball's not moving around the floor as much as we like, and we're doing it at the wrong time of the season. So, look, we'll go back and reassess and address some issues that we need to fix up. And as I've always said, everything that sort of is making us play bad basketball is 100% fixable. But we've got, 9 days left in the season, and we're still not guaranteed a playing spot. We've got to really lock in and finish out the season on the right note so we roll into finals.
Is that something you've already been preaching? Playoffs are going to come, game's going to slow down. You guys like to play at a high pace and learn how to play in the half court, things like that. Have you already been sort of trying to instill that into this group?
Yeah, and this is, the main thing with these guys is also trying to pick their moment. We didn't shoot well, right? We had some good looks that hit the back of the iron. We got to the foul line. We had foul shots that didn't drop. We forced it, especially in that half court where it slows down. There was a lot of times where it was just a dribble attack. You're not going to get a lot of results from that. So, you can still play with a pace in the half court, but where do you get your opportunities from? And that's something we really have to navigate and speed up the process to get it right.
Do you have an idea what the early diagnosis is on Keanu at this point? It looked pretty bad.
Yes, it's again, I never want to speculate. We'll go through the appropriate channels and get him to see a doc. But his eye's pretty swollen. It was bleeding. It's bleeding from the nose, bleeding from the lip, bleeding from the eye. We'll get him checked out, but the plan is right. I'm not preparing for him to suit up this weekend again for us, and we'll make sure he's right first, and make sure he's right to fly back home and do all the necessary things to put him in the position that we take care of his health first.
Are you able to talk about the process of the team as far as not wearing the pride jerseys collectively?
Yeah, and this is I know the club's issued a couple of statements which pretty much answers the most of it, and the one thing that really proud of this group, right, is that come to a collective decision. We support them. We support the NBL's initiative, right, and this is what's really important is the message of what this round represents, and individuality and unity and love, right, and we weren't unfortunately recipients of it for some unbeknownst reason. So, we're doing this because we got around our brothers and we want to protect each other, and rather than feel like we're getting signalled out for any particular reason, this is us, right? And I'm proud of them for it. And it doesn't diminish our support at all, what the league initiative is. We back it 100%. It's perfect. And, everything else is pretty much in those main statements.
Do you as a coach understand the pushback that has naturally come? I don't know if you've seen it yet, because by doing so, you have sort of a community that's been ostracised for so long feels even more ostracised.
I think we explain it pretty well in our statements, because I know I've done a presser yesterday, and this is the second time I'm speaking on it, and there's a club statement, there's a player statement. It's really important, right, that we believe in the message of love and unity and everything else, and we're not diminishing that at all, and we support it, and we're supporting each other in the process, so it pretty much covers everything.
You're wearing a pride badge. Was there any discussion among the coaches to potentially not wear that and join the players in not sort of representing the pride around at all, or was that a no-brainer for you?
No, again, like everything we sort of like to do with this round, we've said in the statement, and there's been no change in our stance with that. So I think that's all I've got to say on it.
How did you feel out there? You got very cheeky, obviously, words exchange, things like that. How did you feel in that environment? Do you think your team can learn to thrive in that environment?
Yeah, that's nothing for us, that talk and that chippiness. You know, we do that every day at practice with each other. And for me personally, that's something that I like to do. It gets me going. And yeah, no, I don't have any issue with it. And our team actually performs well under that. So
You've cracked this rotation. How prepared are you personally for playoff basketball? I know you've played at a really high level at NBL 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how prepared are you to, the game's going to slow down and get even more chippy? Are you prepared for that?
super prepared. Yeah, I've been prepared for a long time. I think even there was questions about whether I could play in the league coming in this year. Obviously last year as well. Same question, you know, every time I step up and answer. So no different with the playoffs. Yeah, I'm ready.
Forde spoke about the fact that a lot of the issues from Pride Round and what you guys are going through has been addressed in those statements. As a player, you know, was there sort of anxiety among the group who were perhaps more supportive of it for not wearing it, or do you feel like everyone is happy with the decision that you guys came to collectively?
I don't want to hijack it, and again, I'm sorry to do this to you, but we're supportive of it. We're supportive of it. Like, we are supportive of it. What we're trying to avoid is these targeted attacks. So we are supportive of it, and the playing group's supportive of it, and everybody's supportive of the message. It's really important that we understand that. So I think the statements make it pretty clear.
Forde, in the statement, the players said that they felt that the NBL's move left them open to be vilified. How are you feeling about that?
It's all in the statements, and I'm not trying to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done 2 presses on it. There's 2 statements. We're real clear. We're supportive of Pride Round, and this is more to do with us, right? In the fact that we don't want to be targeted, right? So, you know.
Are you concerned that the move tonight has left you open to be targeted by the whole team not wearing it, and the impact of that on that community?
Again, the statements, I explain everything. They do. I don't know what more you want from me. The statements explain everything.
Ben, just one on that. Can you give us an insight into the last 48 hours and how the playing group got to this decision? And I know they're talking about
No, he won't.
criticism.
The statement explains it. Thank you. We need to move on. We just played a hell of a game.
Forde, with Keanu out for the next 2 games at least, that only leaves 1 game left for you guys for the regular season ahead of a finals game or a playing game. How concerned are you in terms of that sort of disruption? I know you've gotten used to playing without him, but he's just come back and now he's going to be out again. Disruption to kind of continuity and your flow as a group.
Yeah, more for Keanu. Like, I'm disappointed for him because, you know, he's eager to get out there. The group does well with adversity, and, you know, we'll find our flow again. But yeah, I'm just more disappointed for Keanu that he's worked so hard to get back to this, and then, you know, he's potentially out again. So again, I don't know how long he's out for, and we'll assess it and we'll go from there.
Was he still on a slight minutes restriction tonight, was he, or was he fully healthy to go?
Oh, if he was, I wasn't playing it. So yeah, we rolled him out. So.
I know going into every game you try to look at what's directly in front of you, but you guys have a unique round with 3 games. Did you approach that differently? Do you have a philosophy as far as a lot of the games in a short amount of time, or do you attack it normally?
No, you sort of have to take it at 1 game at a time. The old cliche. It's almost like it's like a dry run for finals, right? Because you don't know how condensed the schedule is going to be. You know, I refer back to previous years I've been involved, and, you know, we did I think it was a 2014-15 season. We did a best of 3 against New Zealand when it was with Perth, and it was 3 games in 5 days that travelled from Perth to Auckland back to Perth. So, you use it as an example of how the finals is going to be, and it's really important what the in-between we do with recovery and hydration and everything else. So we put our best foot forward for the next game.
Forde, on Keanu, you've talked about how he's been refereed and his treatment, the physicality from other players. What was your read on how he was injured tonight?
No, tonight was fine. Tonight was it was one of those games, and it was a bit of a collision. But no, I thought the officiating was fine tonight.
Just throwing forward to the finals, I know there's a little while before we get there, but there's an interesting situation where in between, say if you're tied 1-1 in the semis, you have I think it's an 8-day break for the FIBA window, and then play game 3. Are you aware of that, and what are your thoughts on it?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I don't have any information about it, so you know more than I do about it. So,
what's your first read when I tell you that?
I have to process it.
Thanks.
No, there's nothing on Zoom, so.
Awesome. Thank you very much.